Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is response day because Level Earth Observer responded to my latest video with 2 videos about me. That is kind of a theme. Sleeping Warrior did also 2 videos about me. Just wait for Leo to block me and disable comments. I'm telling you, that's a theme. I actually wanted to do a comments video about comments on his video and on mine about the pinnacle of stupidity, but I think we can do another video on this. Let's just respond a little bit to what he claimed and see what he has to say about the Queen of Glober. So the video he uploaded is called Flat Earth, the gravity of the situation. Very clever, very clever.
Say that again.
Atmospheric pressure is contained, but not in a container. What contains the atmospheric pressure is gravity.
You gotta love the fact that when she says that, she's got no demonstrable science whatsoever, and yet look at the look on her face. She hasn't even got any belief in that absurdity herself.
You can see that in my face, that I don't believe that gravity holds the atmosphere to our planet. Sure. It's not my problem that you can't seem to understand that containment doesn't require a container. That's where the word is derived from, sure. But that doesn't mean that it's necessary.
And of course we're about to smash that. You're claiming that gravity is so strong that it can hold an atmosphere separate from a vacuum without solid separation.
Why would we need a physical barrier between the atmosphere and a vacuum? I mean, I know why he thinks that. Leo, come again a little closer. You'll need this. Vacuums do not suck. The only thing that sucks is your level of understanding of physics. The big mystery behind
why is gravity so strong that it can pull a huge ocean to Earth's surface, but a little butterfly can defy gravity?
Because gravity is not that strong. Gravity pulls on each atom the same. The difference is an ocean consists of so many more atoms than a butterfly. And a butterfly creates another force with its wings, so it can defy gravity. Once again, it's not that hard to understand. And don't come at me again with your stupid argument about,
you know, but I can demonstrate in reality.
No, you can't. Just because you do not have the mental capacity to understand what experimental physics is, and that these experiments are way bigger than your tiny pea brain ever could imagine, doesn't change the fact that it is. You've never been intellectually honest with you or with anyone else around you. You have this tiny fragile ego that you put with every video a little band-aid on because you're so scared of it breaking. But that's my job today.
Oh dear, and this is the best they've got. These people are so confused.
Did he just say, I am one of the best we got? Thank you, Leo. That's one of the nicest things you've ever said about me.
Of course, to get you to believe in absurdities like living on a boat. But you can't have gravity so strong, so hardy, that it can separate an air pressure system from a vacuum without solid separation. But at the same time, closer to Earth where it's stronger, be so weak that it can be debunked by a gentle breeze. Oh dear, these people are clearly cuckoo.
Wow, what a burn. But as I said before, this was just the first video of debunking me. Nice try, buddy. So, the second video he made about moi is called Flat Earth. Wannabe globe superstar takes on reality. That's me. I'm the wannabe globe superstar. And don't get me wrong, I am.
Time though, this young lady's trying to prove that tower cranes can be dead still and plumb, whilst on a spinning, wobbling, oscillating cannonball, one that's doing ludicrous speeds in all different directions. So let's see what this wannabe globe superstar has got for us today.
Frame of reference. That's all you have to know.
Oh, fantastic. Does that mean you're going to cite a travelling frame of reference, one that's got a pendulum on it, that's not only travelling, but is plumb and dead still?
So, can you see this? This is a trampoline, and this guy is jumping up and down while the whole thing is traveling at a constant velocity. And there you go. He isn't smashing or falling off of that thing, even though they're moving. That is conservation of momentum, because he's not moving forwards in comparison, in reference to his frame. So the whole construction is moving at a constant velocity, therefore he's just jumping up and down. For us, as an outside stander, you would see this kind of motion. But that is the relativity of the whole situation. Here is another video, I will link it down in the description. So here's another example of frame of reference. They demonstrated it in reality.
Let's try showing a classic example. A guy riding a skateboard tosses a ball up in the air. From the perspective or frame of reference of a stationary bystander, the ball appears to follow a parabolic curve. However, from the perspective or frame of reference of the guy moving on the skateboard, the ball appears to move straight up and down. In other words, two observers moving with respect to one another will usually disagree on the description of the motion of an object. To put it one more way, all motion is relative to the observer's viewpoint, or what we call the observer's frame of reference.
In that case, the guy on the skateboard is not moving in reference to his frame of reference, the skateboard. But as an outside observer, when you see the guy on the skateboard driving by, he's moving in reference to your frame of reference, in that case, Earth's surface. And it's the same thing with Earth. We do not move in reference of Earth's surface because we move all together at a constant speed. And I don't know about the weird fascination you have for cranes and pendulums. You do you. Have fun with them, I guess. Yes. Oh. Because the Foucault pendulum is actually a great way to prove Earth's rotation, as shown in this clip. So this is according to Wikipedia. The physical explanation is that the main effect of the rotation is that Earth rotates below the plane of oscillation of the pendulum, while the plane of oscillation itself remains unchanged. This is easiest to see at the North or South Pole, because the suspension point of the pendulum remains at rest there despite the rotation of Earth. At the equator, on the other hand, the plane of oscillation of the pendulum does not turn at all in relation to the ground. The closer you get to the poles, the stronger the rotation. That basically means if you consider the surface of Earth at rest, the pendulum seems to change direction. That is the Coriolis force acting on the direction of movement of the pendulum, and deflects it to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. So this pendulum is not only evidence for the rotation of Earth, but also evidence for the Coriolis force. With the data you get by the oscillation, the angle, the time it takes for one rotation, you can even determine on which latitude you are on a globe. It doesn't make sense on a flat Earth, buddy. Won't be able to feel a motion when it is moving at a constant speed.
My dear, there's nothing constant about a spinning, wobbling, oscillating cannonball, one that's...
Adam, the only thing that is wibbling and wobbling around here is your understanding of physics and frames of reference. Jess is right, and you might learn something if you pay attention to her. Every time you bang on about...
My dear, there's nothing constant about a spinning, wobbling, oscillating cannonball, one that's corkscrewing around the sun, doing ludicrous speeds in different directions.
You got it totally backwards. And you show you don't have a Scooby-Doo about reference frames at all, do you, Adam? Let me give you some demonstrable reality, Adam. Let's have a look at Sochi's ball. Now, it's floating away from Sochi at 1 mile per hour. But the ISS is doing 17,000 miles per hour. So is the water ball doing 1 mile an hour and 17,000 miles per hour all at the same time? Have a word with yourself, Adam. Thanks for letting me play with him, Jess. He's good fun, isn't he?
Without gravity, without another frame of reference, when I would float out in space, I don't care if you believe in it or not, it's just a fact. When I float out in space and someone else, for example, where's Wally? If Wally and I are floating out in space and he flies by me, I would say, I'm stationary. There's nothing nearby to compare myself to, so I would assume I can't feel anything. Therefore, he's flying at this speed besides me. But Wally would think, no, I'm just sitting here, nothing happening. Jesse is flying by with that velocity. Because when there's nothing to compare it to, we're technically both moving or no one moving. Because out in space, when there's nothing nearby, you don't know if you are moving, if Wally's moving, if I am moving, or the next star a billion light years away. We don't know, because when there's nothing to compare to, and there's no wind that is smashing all of those molecules in our faces, we don't know if we're moving or not. Motion is entirely relative. And that is a crazy concept to understand. But there are children that can compute what this is to a certain extent. But you, with your small pee-pee and your small pea brain, I don't have much hopes for you understanding any of it.
Please, wake up. Wake up.
I'm awake. And now what? It's a lie. It's flat.
You can't even display a pendulum travelling in a linear fashion in a constant speed, one that's plumb and dead still, yet alone all the other ludicrous speeds in different directions.
Just go out and do it yourself? Why are you crying about a pendulum just because you have this crazy obsession with it? Maybe an idea for a TLC show. But wait, someone would see your face and little Adam would be probably scared now.
About reality. Reality, guess what? It's not that hard to understand. It can be demonstrated by everyone.
Oh dear, Adam, you wouldn't recognize reality if it hit you in the face. You live in your pantomime world and won't demonstrate any of the claims you make. Why don't you start with that, Adam?
But I've never seen a citation of a pendulum on a train or a plane, one that's 2 meters long, that's plumb and dead still. This is my whole point, my dear. This just seems like this is all about you.
Sure, that's my channel. That is all about me. There's my name on the channel. When you're so sure, do this experiment. Go and give a call to Mr. Sensible and debate him. Put your money where your mouth is and go and talk to actual people that know their actual shit. Because you are not one of them. In the end, you know it would disprove your point. So why bother and do actual science? Ask a friend to drive in a car when you have and then try to throw a ball just next to you. You would see that the ball isn't flying up and then smashing in the back of the car. It's not that hard, and you can...
Not that hard, but you can't cite one single demonstration involving a pendulum. I'm a tower crane operator, my dear. I don't operate tennis balls in the back of people's cars. I operate
We know by now. No one else on this planet will talk that much about cranes. But no one cares. As you said, you're a crane operator, not a physicist. So shut the up!
There's not one single scientific demonstration on Earth to suggest that tower cranes or any pendulum could be plumb and dead still whilst doing ludicrous speeds in all sorts of different directions.
So you not being able to find this experiment means Earth is flat.
I do not operate a ball in the back of someone's car.
On whose balls do you operate in the back of your car?
If you're going to represent the globe, you've got all the skill set you already require. You are famous, my dear. You're going to be well known from now on as the girl that thinks reality is exactly the opposite to what can be demonstrated.
Even if I wanted to be this famous big YouTuber, it doesn't change the fact that you don't have a point, that you are the most delusional idiot on this. Okay, no, with Daniel Pratt and Sleeping Water, but you're in the top, I don't know, flat earthers. You have no idea that the world consists of more than what you can see or touch, and that is actually sad. Just look at your comment section. I will do a video about the whole comment thing because it's so fun. But in his first video about me, there were actually people telling me that oxygen is this toxic chemical and that oxygen doesn't appear in nature. It's all man-made. It's really fascinating to me how far off people can get just to feel special. It's sad, but it's content, so I'll take it. So this is for now my 2 cents on all of this, but I hope at least you had a little bit of fun because that's so incredibly stupid. I hope I can edit a coherent video out of those bits and pieces I just threw in all of this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know down in the comments, how dumb do you think he is? I really want to know. If you did like this video, please hit the like button and of course the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!